Flash. Good evening, Madame Herta fans. This is an urgent broadcast. The great Madame Herta, member 83 of the Genius Society, has been targeted in an attack at the space station. Her current whereabouts are unknown, with no group having stepped forward to claim responsibility. Many Heritors are upset at the ineptitude of upper management, having issued strong protest and condemnation.
Mr. Schoolum, this was a premeditated attack.
Conclusion. Their target was the space station, but their strategies are still unknown to us.
That's right. Which is precisely why we need her. The last to lay eyes on Herta's puppet before the attack was her.
And you are?
This is Dr. Ratio of the Intelligentsia Guild, a delegate from the IPC.
She's only just woken up. Dazed. She may need a few pointers.
Ah, we crossed paths again. Do you remember me? Of course. Why would you? Memory is such a fickle thing, after all.
Miss Trailblazer, you must have many questions. Please be patient. Asta will explain it all to you.
You probably know the gist of things already. A few system hours ago, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location of the puppet, and we can't pinpoint its signal. No. The attack happened on a base outside the station, beyond the surveillance camera's range. She's away on a visit. This issue didn't seem to trouble her much.
She received an invitation from the IPC before the...
Ah, the technology department. Charming little place, isn't it? Madame Yabuli does possess some semblance of competence, but they want to start some new collaborations with Herta, and have graciously extended an invite for me to play the role of science consultant. It's still... However, this attack was timed a little too well. I can't help but wonder if someone leaked this information.
I've long heard that you're one of the best researchers in the guild, Doctor.
Save your flattery. Time is hardly a luxury we can squander. To debate the merits of mere mortals in the company of an actual genius? Excuse me, you. Tell me, what were you doing the last time you saw that puppet? Don't play the fool. Think.
I think I was...
Oh, right. I need your help with something else. That curio's gone missing, and I can't just forget about it. Go find it for me when you have the time. I'm sure you can manage that, can't you? Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's alive, but it doesn't have a body. Send me a signal when you see traces of it.
I think she mentioned something important, but if only there were some hint.
Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask.
My memory's kind of hazy. What did I do after that? I think Herta mentioned Asta. That's right. I think I visited Asta. This is what I recall before I met Herta, but I can't remember some of the details. Let me try to remember the conversation with Asta.
A curio that's alive but doesn't have a body. Sorry, but nothing comes to mind. Maybe the researchers at the Departments of Ecology or Insight may have an idea? Hinkle and are around here somewhere. I'd suggest you ask them about it.
Asta seems to have mentioned 2 names. 2 researchers from the Departments of Ecology and Insight.
Those despicable villains are distorting the truth online. Ugh. If I discover who's a curio that's alive but doesn't have a body? Isn't that just a jinx? Oh, nowadays people call them wubbaboos? Well, I might be the Department of Ecology head, but I'm not the most... Adler would be of more help, but he's been investigating some paranormal phenomena. I must say, it's a little embarrassing for the space station to be in such disarray. Well, we've been through a huge crisis and are still recovering. People are growing more and more distrustful of the management here. It's probably turned... Never mind, I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something that we researchers need to resolve ourselves. Pretend I didn't say anything.
Adler. Right, then I ran into Arlen. Adler was with him. It was at... Adler was with Arlen.
What? He went to the scene alone with Peppy? How could you let him?
Calm down, Brother Arlen. I know you're upset.
We're walking the dog.
We're having a walk.
Like I said, we're walking the dog.
So I'm the dog?
They seem to be hiding something.
Is there something you need?
Oh, really? What a coincidence. We're looking for him, too. That kid sure is brave, running straight to the scene on his own. Yes, well, Peppy isn't here, you see. Brother Arlen...
Let's walk and talk. Why are you looking for Adler? A lost curio. I see. He'll be able to help. Careful. The fragmentum in this area is very unstable.
Eternal. You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength. I'll end your misery.
A sharp scythe needs targets.
Over there! As I thought, he's in trouble. Let's go!
Time to change tack. Lend me your strength.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them. Existence is unity.
I'll end your misery.
Peppy! Are you okay?
That's me. What's up?
She wants to ask you something about curios. I'll leave you to it. Adler, Peppy's in your hands now. Oh, about...
Don't worry. I think I figured something out. Catch you later. So, which curio do you want to know about? That's all you got? Too abstract. Well, there's beauty in the abstract, I guess. Have you asked the Department of Ecology head? Huh, she's not wrong. But that doesn't feel entirely right either.
Huh? What did I say?
Huh. Now that you mention it, I have a wild hype. Let's call it a day.
Adler seems to have gotten a lead, but... Let's... go over it from the start. I may have overlooked something. My memories of Arlen and Adler are hazy.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. Send me a signal when you see...
I think she... If only there...
Anyway, keep up the good...
Hey, what brings you here, Rich? It's all taken care of. As long as the money's there, it's all good. Here's the account you asked for. It's legit and secure, allowing you to connect straight to the intranet.
Sure. Can I help you with something?
Oh, you flatter me. I'm just a peddler doing a little small scale. Best left under the...
Again?
These two aren't making any sense. This is so weird. I can't recall the other person, but one of them was Hinkle.
It's been so long and there's still no response.
There's something fishy going on. How come they haven't recovered anything? They're hiding something.
Those managers are...
I'm gonna tell you something. Make sure you don't tell anyone else.
Of course. My lips are sealed. Not a word to anyone.
The multiple disappearance?
Seriously?
Shh! Why are you being...
I saw it. I saw that person disappear. They...
What?
What do we do? It sounds like he's telling the truth.
Yeah, whatever. Just let the professionals deal with it. Did you finish your work?
A curio that's a... How's it going? Did you find the information? I see. Is that what Hinkle and think? At least that counts as a lead. See? My researchers are pretty... Just business as usual. Nothing to worry about. Oh. After the Legion's invasion, the space station has been under constant scrutiny. Physical damage. Some researchers have been questioning the management and things had settled down a bit with the reconstruction efforts. But Yes. 4 researchers have inexplicably disappeared in a matter of days. No exit log. People were just starting to regain their footing after the catastrophe. I didn't want panic. However, as you can see, it's hard to keep rebuilding trust is harder. Anyway, the most important thing is to get to the bottom. That's okay, but thank you for the offer, aren't you? Oh, by the way, I heard about the thing mentioned, and I'll look into it too.
So I did consult someone else other than Hinkle. The only thing I remember is that they're from the department. The other person should be from the Department of Insight. I need to remember who it is. The other person should... Identifying that person is crucial. It could be the key to making sense of everything.
Hey, what brings you here, Rich?
I'm not that wonderful.
It's all... Here's the... Oh, Smalls.
Here did my memory... Now I remember. The other person is Emily. She was at the base zone. What did Emily say?
I say, what a wonderfully intelligent-looking young lady.
I'm not that wonderful. I'm just okay.
No need to be modest, though I confess I did hear someone say you were the shining star of the Department of
Sure. Can I help you with something?
See this material here? People are so inconsiderate. How's someone like me supposed to make out the small print? I'm not getting any younger, and my eyesight is failing. Do you think you can...
Again? How many times has it been? You're really pushing my buttons.
Oh, another smart-looking youngster. Wonderful. It's about time we had some new recruits.
Huh. Asta told you to find me? A curio that doesn't have a body but is alive. Isn't the Department of Ecology full of curio experts? That's gotten... However, I've heard of such a species. A colleague who came back from a business trip said that the Cienjo Alliance has life forms like that. Don't get me wrong. I was merely relaying information. I didn't mean I'd help you.
The Cienjo species Emily mentioned seems to be what inspired Adler. The disappearances Asta mentioned are likely related to Arlen's investigations too. The Cienjo species...
ask the Department of Ecology head? She's not...
Huh?
She's not wrong. Ah, that's right! They're called Heliobi. I guess you could say that Wubbaboos and Heliobi are sort of like cousins. Both, Now that you mention it, I have a wild hypothesis. But let's call it a day. Wait for me.
I figured you'd come to me to uncover the truth. I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate.
Just as I thought,
I'm sorry. The situation is very delicate. How did you know? I see. Could you also tell that Lady Asta was feeling the pressure? I'll be honest with you. It's been tough. There's only one clue. Adler observed that the automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances occurred. That means that every victim's disappearance was accompanied by some inexplicable fire. The words they used were
spontaneous combustion of the human body. That is most likely the truth. I need to go over it from the start.
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. Send me a signal when you see traces.
I think she mentioned if only there were some...
Let me describe it again in case you forgot. It's an energy life form. It's alive, but send me a signal when you see traces of it. That's not the point. I wouldn't be bothering with it if it didn't have something to do with the Genius Society. Anyway, keep up the good work. I need to go out for a bit. Go ask Asta if you want someone to help you.
I commend your stamina for recounting that interminable tale. You must be exhausted. My ears certainly are. So, to sum it up, the last time you laid eyes on Herta was in her office. She sent you on a wild goose chase for some trinket, the curio. After which you knew. If that's the narrative you're sticking to, then indulge me. Who, pray tell, can substantiate this captivating drama? A second-hand account. She wasn't at the scene. Hearsay hardly counts as compelling evidence, now does it?
Affirmation. We can ask Herta herself.
Well, if you lace up those boots and start sprinting now, you might just catch the IPC shuttle in 4 system hours. But as it stands, not a single soul can corroborate her story.
Mr. Ratio, your style of questioning would seem to have a preconceived bias.
Apologies, it's an unfortunate habit of mine. When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. It is also the most efficient method, judging from my experience. Seeking answers with a negative hypothesis in mind is still valid. If she is truly innocent, she can clear her... Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment. And the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name.
Herta didn't mention the name of the curio. We were talking, however, she did give a thorough description of the curio. I didn't make that up.
True. You wouldn't be...
Why do I feel like...
And the assignment involves a curio, Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles. And yet...
I doubt Herta is interested in the...
Based on your story, you met with Herta because she specifically wanted you for an assignment.
I remember now. Back then...
That's enough pretend. Based on your story.
If you knew Herta, then you wouldn't find it weird.
Don't interrupt other people. Did no one teach you manners? Based on your story, and the assignment involves a curio that doesn't even have a name. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and...
Sure, but you're the one saying the curio in question is ordinary.
Say what you want.
A correct observation.
Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles.
I remember now.
That's enough. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and...
I remember now.
That's enough. Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets...
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it because of its relation to the Genius Society.
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius. Affirmation.
Yes. That seems... Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. And the assignment involves a curio that... Herta's collection. An endless trove of trinkets and baubles.
The curio isn't the point. Herta was only addressing it...
I would imagine the curio is the creation of a genius.
Yes. Then you said you asked Asta for help with the lost curio. However, she decided to hold her tongue until now?
I remember now.
That's enough. However, so what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction? Or is
Asta isn't trying to hide anything. It's because...
What could be more in...
I agree. It's okay. You can...
So what's the story? Are you full of fanciful fiction?
The space station has been very distrustful of its higher management. Another severe incident would further intensify suspicion and cause great internal strife.
Oh. So that explains why Lady Asta approved of my participation. After all, the Intelligentsia Guild's representative wouldn't be linked to the space station, but would still... They wouldn't be partial to anyone, but would still act for the space station's... Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked. Cut the act. You're perfectly...
Correction. There may be...
Researchers' disappearances, you say? Yes, I've heard the responsibility of sorting out that. Clearly, though, it bears no connection to Herta's puppet being attacked.
No. If I recall correctly, Asta said, one of Madame Herta's puppets was attacked by an unknown perpetrator. We don't know the location. Isn't that the same as missing?
She did say that. But then what?
There should be evidence. Arlen discovered something. The space station's automatic fire suppression system was momentarily activated around the time the disappearances happened. Arlen mentioned that each victim disappeared.
Huh. But there are no...
That's what's so odd about it. But this information has an additional layer of importance. This may not be direct evidence. But if the system also recorded the fire suppression, then there's ample evidence to indicate that these...
If these two incidents were caused by the same person...
We'll see in the main control room. Let's go. Huh? What was that?
Another news flash. This is an urgent broadcast. I repeat, this is an urgent broadcast. News has finally emerged regarding the attack on Madame Herta. The Annihilation Gang has claimed responsibility for the incident and warned of further activity. The Guild has expressed utmost condemnation.
The gods of the starry skies have abandoned the world. They give no thought to the masses. Only the wounded savior can bathe the world in the firelight of destruction. Yet always there are cowards trying in vain to reject their favor and escape the wounds. Flee then. Flee as far as you can. No matter the distance, annihilation will find you.
This is...
A declaration of war, and an announcement of what's to come. They have set their sights on you. The Legion's impact remains.
This Duke Inferno Ifrit is a life form that hails from Fatora, a world long since destroyed. His race, the ever-burning fire demons, regard Nanook,
a group of pitiful lunatics. I like Dr. Primitive's assessment of them. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang is perhaps far less than one might see in a child. The fire demons have a cruel temper and instinctively ignite and destroy items. Ifrit is particularly evil and cruel.
Japella Brotherhood. I've heard...
On the Stellaron Hunters wanted posters, they stand accused of inciting the Japella Rebellion.
The Japella Palace crumbled in the scorching flames. And Ifrit, something similar is about to happen here. Spontaneous combustion? That video will soon circulate. And
the destruction of trust.
I'm afraid more than trust. You need to start acting now if you want to survive. You, come with me. You have a superior strategy? Pray tell, do we set the two of them loose, turning whispered fears into full-blown pandemonium?
If we did that, we'd be at a disadvantage. I'll stay here and...
This might be of some use. Take a rest. It's time for tea and cakes.
Not good. This is serious. The security department...
A list of the missing researchers and their details.
Sure, but the security department already combed through their backgrounds and personal relationships. We didn't find anything odd.
A list of the missing researchers and their details. Take it. Remember these names. Find a friend who's tuned into the gossip around here and tell them you want to know the relationship between these people. I don't know. That depends on your friend.
What else do you need me to do?
Take me to the one who knows the most about curios within the Department of Ecology.
He He disappeared too. I didn't really notice at first. Adler's but it's been a few system hours, and I still can't reach him. Even the surveillance cameras can't find any. The last time I saw him was in the master control zone.
Lead the way. You said Adler was... If his disappearance is also related to the...
True. The key words that got Adler thinking were energy, life forms. Duke and we need to investigate this.
Jerk! Fine! Disappear! I don't ever want to see your face again! Oh, it's you. It's Adler. Adler disappeared. He's been acting really weird recently. Always researching stuff like Spoon. He doesn't even answer me.
What did he talk?
He kept saying the word...
Phrase.
Who said I want him back? But if you want to find him, I don't know exactly what he's searching for.
So the researchers who disappeared were at the forefront of challenging management. I finished browsing through this booklet while you were replying to messages. It recorded the lies of... It's time to go back and chat with...
You're back. I've been monitoring the dark web. I barely managed to stop the video from spreading. The incident hasn't grown any bigger, for now. How are things?
Less than promising. Or to use a different phrase, we're running out of time. Let's retrace our steps and evaluate this. First, Adler's disappearance. He must have come across some vital information. The next angle is what the victims have in common, distasteful as that discussion may be. Last is the abilities of Duke Inferno and the secret of spontaneous human combustion. During prior unrest, instigated by the Everflame Mansion, the flickering tongues of Duke Inferno's fire carrying a certain property. Look, the answer is right. This booklet describes a kind of fire that can phase through dimensions, claiming it burns through worlds, leaving numerous scions of flame behind. The kindling of this unique flame must be. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. Undoubtedly, the Curio Herta asked if, and Adler already discovered the relationship between. I fear that this is the truth Adler discovered. When Schurling said, Adler kept muttering about it, I believe this word was actually. As a scion of the Phase Flame, Duke Inferno would naturally share similar That is the truth of the spontaneous. We don't know where the victims went, but Duke Inferno's and the sudden and consecutive disappearances provided. Once the seed of unrest has sprouted, he will then send out an announcement for an imminent attack. The next step would be to ignite the spark. Look at those researchers who disappeared. What would happen if someone realized their similarities? I need say no more.
It was all a premeditated trap to stir up chaos on the space station.
We're running out of time.
This...
No, it isn't enough.
Indeed, it needs one more spark.
What do you mean?
If you limit your involvement to this, there's still room for excuses. If it were me, I wouldn't give you the chance.
Could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Stay calm. Asta was merely teleported. Her life was not in danger. Based on first-hand experience, I have ascertained that Ifrit's flame is simply a splinter of the primordial phase flame, lacking.
That flame must still be somewhere inside the...
Astride any...
It seems that Duke Inferno didn't deign to personally grace the space station. He merely cast infernal fire into our midst to wreak...
I will head to Herta's office and activate the folded space in the Curio storage room. With some changes, Mr. Ratio.
Infernal fire is also a form of energy life form. The imaging device will pick up its trace. The way is awash with flames. It must have just teleported. Be careful. Get ready to dash into the fire. See? It's still in the space station. Like Screwlam said, it cannot escape. Do you know what to do with cornered prey? Hunt.
The fire is dying.
It's still resisting. The flame is getting weaker.
What?
Seems like... It's over.
Ignorant fools, blind! It is little wonder that even in this... But next time...
A small fragment of consciousness in there is go. The banal theatrics of stalling. Let's not, shall we?
Lend me your strength. More enemy. Time for a fun.
Your answers? Answer me. 0 points.
A quick divination. Converge and awaken. Human creations. You'll pay for that.
I'm asking questions. Test.
You took the bait. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them. This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed. Lend me your strength.
Your answers? Answer me. 0 points.
Can I have fun this time?
Sayus Percipi. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
I see through you.
So this is the extent of miscreants materializing from the Inferno. Seems like Dr. Primitive wasn't wrong.
Time for a buzz. Together as one.
Mediocre.
Human creations.
Answer me. The fire is weakening. It's preparing to flee. You, keep your eye out for Lady Asta's whereabouts.
To guard and defend. Crush them.
Test. Fail. Knowledge, the measure of truth and falsehood.
Lend me your strength.
Answer me. 0 points.
Secret of the safe.
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Test. Fail.
This is double speed.
0 points.
Time for a buzz.
Fail.
Converge and awaken. Human creations.
Good work. You did very well. Rest assured, Asta only had a fright. She is recovering. While you were chasing the enemy, the security department also found the missing researchers. Affirmation. They are all safe and sound. It was all thanks. They fell into a spatial curio and could not leave until the Department of Ecology's most knowledgeable. Yes, it is over. This business is over, and I believe the space station will be able to deal. But there is one mystery that remains, and that is something I'm...
been waiting.
Fallout from this incident remains. Surely you have plenty of pressing matters to attend to. Or is the safety of the space station beneath your concern?
Answer. That is exactly why I came. After all, the principal figure in this whole affair.
When did you start to doubt me?
When one is immersed in academic research, skepticism comes far more naturally than belief. I've had the same bad habit as you since the beginning, Mr. Ratio.
I must say I'm quite honored, Mr. Screwlam. But do explain, why opt for silent wisdom when...
For curiosity's sake. Affirmation. I made the same
Oh, and...
Objectively speaking, aside from some minor spiritual trauma, no researchers were hurt in this attack. Logic? A third party saved them.
Had I not fortuitously acquired a spark of the phase flame and intervened in Duke Inferno's teleportation, those people would already...
You are more candid than I calculated.
But still behaving within your calculations, no? One last question, Screwlam. Genius though you are,
I cannot be sure and can only hypothesize. Helping the weak hints at the merciful instinct of a medical doctor, but maintaining a cool, detached observation reveals the strictness of a scholar, and pulling the strings from behind the curtain.
The ruler of planet Screwlam is indeed well versed in the human mind. It's a pity you're as much in the ivory tower as other geniuses. To stand aside and observe is the best treatment one can give. There is a disease called the path of erudition has neither reason nor logic. While geniuses wander among the stars, the ordinary can't even trace their footsteps. But even a life marked by failure is a life worth living. It is only in moments of solitude. I have a fastidious nature. I cannot stand fools, idiots, or imbeciles. Seeing them fills me with dread.
You wish to uproot the researchers' blind worship of geniuses.
I am only laying out my question. Pursuit tinged with negativity is...
You are indeed more like a...
As for the spark,
I believe Asta will deal...
It is also a lesson I left for her. With that, I take my leave. I look forward to...
A farce full of trivial concerns. Ultimately, they're just mediocre minds.